What's going on, everybody?
I will vote.
What's happening, everybody? I'm Hassan Piker, and this is the HASAN broadcast coming to you live from not so sunny, well, I guess somewhat relatively sunny California, Los Angeles, folks. We're live and alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic one because today's a beautiful day. Today's a wonderful day. Today is Monday, Tuesday. That's right, folks. We're live. We're alive. And I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic one because today's a beautiful day. Today's a wonderful day. It's Monday, January 6th. That's right. The 4th year anniversary of the holiest day. A national holiday for me. A day of mourning for many of us. That's right. A day of mourning for a brave patriot that died, Ashley Babbitt, that was killed, viciously murdered by the jackbooted thugs of the American state under the leadership of, well, at the time, technically Donald Trump, but like it wasn't his fault. You know what I mean? Ashley Babbitt, you are our hero. Ashley Babbitt, we miss you. Anyway, this is Liberal January 6th. Things are a little different. It's under the helm of the Brandon regime. So, of course, liberals are doing their woke gender today. This is part of the broadcast where I tell you about my personal news about what's going on in the world of HASAN Piker in between the time period where I press the stop streaming button and press the start streaming button. Ended the broadcast yesterday after a short 8-hour stream. Hung out with my brother, my brother's fiance, and my mom. I'm also in a kind of good mood today. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I worked out, and every time I work out, I just have a good feeling in my heart. Your friendly fire to PP yesterday was so crazy. Yeah, that dude, I have been thinking about that nonstop.
Bro,
Okay,
what do you mean?
PP.
What kind of name is PP, man? Take it back.
The way he said that was also so sad. I know he was joking, but like, god damn, this bricked me. I really need to just be more careful. This is one of those things where, you know how people will say like, oh, well, you're fat shaming this cop, but like the cop won't hear it, but your fat viewers will or something. You know what I mean? This is literally that. This is actually what happened. Like, oh, you're making fun of Pierre and saying, what kind of name is PP? On the one hand, Pierre will never hear you say that, but Peter Park might, and he did. And it made me so sad. It's very cool that his name is PP is not cool to the Canadian. The next Canadian Prime Minister will be also named PP. He stole that from Peter. Next week's pod episode can never come fast enough. Wait, what? This week's pod was incredible. We'll always tune in for a good laugh. I love that. Why did you write that like I gave you $20? Like I PayPal'd you $20 to say that. I'm always in. If you're in for a good laugh, the Fear End podcast is where it's at. I think I'm done playing Marvel Rivals. It's no longer fun. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I'm deeply addicted to it. But yesterday we did some in-houses and I got stomped on so hard. I'm not a gamer. I need to hang it up. I need to quit. Every time a new game comes out, the first couple of weeks, I am around the same level as everyone else because the game has just come out. And all of my friends and I are usually playing at the same level. We're getting like around the same number of kills. We're playing against people who are also, you know, competitive with us. And then a month into the game, virtually every single person just blows past me. It always happens. I think part of it is all because I just don't play as much as they do. They play 8 hours every single day. And of course, if you do that, you're going to get better. And I'm never going to be able to do that. I am too high elo when it comes to this. Yapping. And I'm also not good enough. I'm just simply not like naturally good enough. Will, for example, he plays a lot more than I do. But even then, Will is also naturally very good at games. So even if he were to play like 3 to 4 hours every day, which I don't even do, he will still be able to play at like a competitive level. Whereas I am just not very good at games. And it's just something I got to recognize. It sucks. It sucks. But the age of 33, the year of 33, as I turn 34 later in this year, I will come to that recognition. Here's the thing though. It's supposed to be fun. Like gaming is supposed to be fun. I did do a decent push here, but that's like pretty much it. This is definitely a better team comp so far, I think.
We're doing it.
All right, now we have to get through this fun show.
Yeah. We got it.
I can dive backline.
Got my squids out. Squids on the back line
I should be
still.
able to break that.
There was a couple of really good moments I had with the
Huge. Wait, I think we can push with that, honestly.
Yeah, push.
Just like you know, I'm dying.
God, are you good? You good? You good?
I got him here. I got him here.
This is my most like old man attitude, but at the end of the day, I just think it's a game and it's not worth it. This is my oldest man take. For me, basketball is always worth it. Why? Because there's like a secondary thing that I'm getting out of it. A feeling of victory is good, but I'm also, even if I lose, I feel like I've, one, learned something, and two, I'm physically excelling. Even if I'm losing, I'm still getting cardio out of it. Whereas when I play video games, I don't feel that way. It's just because I'm old. I'm an old man. I know. I love having fun with friends. I love gaming with friends. It's incredibly fun. I love playing video games on stream, and I will continue to do so. It's just that I will never put enough initiative and enough seriousness to train to get better at gaming. It's just never gonna happen. I'm never gonna do it. LeBron plays games and it's kind of ass. It's okay. That's what I mean. It's just like I will always enjoy it and I will always keep playing games. Playing basketball, you don't have a chance of playing against an athlete from across the world. No, that's actually a great example. I would love the opportunity to play against an athlete, and I do sometimes play against athletes like pro players, overseas players, and the like. You know, D1 players, and it's incredible. It's an amazing opportunity. Whereas I don't feel that way when I play video games. If there's actually a pro player on the other team and they're just cooking me, I don't feel the exact same way. Whereas if I had the opportunity to play against like a pro athlete in basketball, that is fantastic. That's an opportunity to learn. That's an opportunity to get better. That's an opportunity to test yourself. I'm always interested in playing against players that are infinitely better than me in basketball. It's also because I've probably spent a lot more time and a lot more investment into basketball, and I'm a lot better at basketball than the average person, than I am at gaming than the average streamer. Wouldn't say the average person, but definitely the average streamer. Also, competitive video games utilize a strictly ego-based reward system that deprives you of reward frequently and inevitably frustrates you. No. I think it's also because I just don't understand. I don't understand why I lost or what I'm doing wrong. I'm just not very good. In basketball, I know where my weaknesses are. I know what I need to fix. And there's plenty, right? There's plenty of room for improvement, of course, for everything. If I were to think about basketball as a video game, I know what my position is in a starting five. I know what role I can play. And depending on the team comp, I can fulfill other roles as well. There are certain roles that I just simply cannot fulfill. I can't play guard. I can't play point guard. But with gaming, I just, like, I'm confused all the time. I'm so confused. When I play a game like Marvel Rivals, as much as I enjoy it, I'm still kind of confused. I'm like, what's going on? I get overwhelmed. I don't know. It's kind of sad, but it is the truth. I'm an old man. And it's just, there's no reason to lie about it. Okay. I'm an old man and I just don't get it. I'll still keep playing it. I just got to know that I'm bad and not try to be good. The world is not doing all right, ladies and gentlemen. That's all it is. The world is not doing all right. And I'm afraid to tell you that things are most likely going to not get better, but as a matter of fact, most likely get worse. Make sure that you understand that things might not be much better. Anyway, that's it. It's official. Congress is certifying Donald Trump's election victory. As you guys know, this is not necessarily something that people were aware of that the American government does until the Republicans decided this was a pivotal moment to strike and potentially change the trajectory of American democracy. What is this? Oh no, it's happening again. Just keep this video to bait some views.
To the Capitol, but those police are gone. I don't see anyone. When we were coming up on the other side, from the west side of the Capitol, we saw a van
oh my God.
and a group of almost like National Guardsmen, and they were running into
oh
the
my
building.
God,
As
they're
they were running
storming?
into the building,
Liberals
people
are storming the Capitol?
Cheering at them, yelling, you know, not to forget
Oh my
their
God.
oath, that they made an oath to this country. I mean, really harassing these the National Guardsmen who were running into the building. And so it turned.
Oh my God, they're doing it again. No, I'm just kidding. All right. I was the only protester outside Congress. Where was everyone? Let's be real. Let's keep it $1.50. Let's be really real. Liberals are not resisting the Trump administration. They're not. Liberals are too busy, both in the halls of Congress and outside, clapping at the normalization of Donald Trump and the Republican Party, and also simultaneously celebrating how good they are at normalizing people like Trump. My point is, we're done. It's over. The American Reich is here, okay? Some might say it's always been here, America KKK style. You know, Maoist standard English speakers, rejoice. You were right all along. But that's kind of where we're at. That's where we're at. And I mean, look at the liberals celebrating how wonderful they are, celebrating how they preserve these institutions, unlike the silly Republicans. Meanwhile, they're certifying Donald Trump, you know?
Let's listen
Mr.
in. Vice
Speaker
President Harris
and
is calling for
members of
order.
Congress, pursuant to the Constitution and laws of the United States, the Senate and House of Representatives are meeting in joint session to...
I'll be honest, it does kind of feel like maybe they didn't think Donald Trump was Hitler. This doesn't reflect my opinion on the matter, but it kind of feels like they didn't have any issues with Donald Trump's policies, and they certainly didn't have any issues with Donald Trump either. And they don't have an issue with the Republican Party either. They went from this is not normal to maybe this should be normal, and this way it'll be fine. It's really interesting because you see media coverage on Trump's inauguration, and a lot of people in the media are talking about how crazy it is that Google and Facebook and Jeff Bezos, they're all giving millions of dollars to Trump's inauguration funds. And it's not that weird. If the elites have decided that Trump is just the Republican Party and this is just how the Republicans are, and we just got to play ball with the Republicans, then yeah, it's not newsworthy, or it wouldn't have been newsworthy in the same way if, I don't know, companies gave money to the George W. Bush inauguration. To me, it just shows that everyone in America is ready to play ball. All of our elites are ready to play ball. Trump, Teflon Don, he did the dang thing. He did it. He knew that he would face legal scrutiny, chose to fight against it by running for office again, successfully won the election, and now we're in his court. And the Democrats are, I think, totally willing to stand back and stand by. Is today when they certify President Musk? Yes.
Verify the certificates and count the votes of the electors of the several states for President and Vice President of the United States. After ascertainment has been had that the certificates are authentic and correct in form, the tellers will count and make a list of the votes cast by the electors of the several states. The tellers on the part of the two houses will take their places at the clerk's desk.
I want to know what BLUEANON is going to do now, because I thought BLUEANON was talking about how MOMALA is going to stop the steal. As the admiral of the BLUEANON Brigades, West Coast Division General, I am at a loss for words here. I'm a little confused. I thought that we were supposed to wait for orders from MOMALA Harris. I am the BLUEANON shaman. As the BLUEANON shaman, I thought this was our opportunity to strike. MOMALA was going to not certify. She knew something was up. I thought that the SpaceX had changed out the vote tabulations and that MOMALA was going to strike while the iron was hot. What's happening? And as the leader of the West Coast MOMALA Brigades, I've decided perhaps that they actually infiltrated MOMALA, killed her, put her in a CIA black site because she was fighting against the deep state. And this is a clone. Meanwhile, this is liberal January 6th. A crowd of hundreds, if not 1,000, showed up to Meridian Hill, Malcolm X Park, for today's community snow fight in D.C. There it is. Liberal January 6th is happening. And what's funny is they'll also talk about how like sweet it is. They'll talk about how great it is that, like, you know, look at us. We're adults, unlike those Republicans. And there's truth to that. Yes, liberals will not, you know, throw their hands up and try to resist or do something about the situation. But then they'll also say, look at that. That's actually a virtue. It's actually a virtue that we are not even resisting the Trump administration after we said he was a Nazi. I still think he is. Only time will show how much of a Nazi he is. A liberal insurrection would have looked very different. We would have escorted the original Broadway cast of Hamilton into the galleries. They would softly sing "History Has Its Eyes on You" as members of the GOP spewed their lies. Yeah, we would do woke gender as well. We would also only tactically snap. I say we because remember, I am the BLUEANON Brigadier. We would also snap. No clapping, just snapping. We would do gender. We would do woke gender. Broadway musical, jazz hands. We would do a land acknowledgement after the insurrection or before the insurrection. We'd have to put marginalized people on a single file line, put them in the front lines, you know, and of course, mandatory drag. And then the end of the insurrection would be ensuring that we secure enough funds to give to Israel. Another $8 billion to Israel, to be exact, which is what Joe Biden is doing. We would cherish that and we would celebrate him for doing that.
State of Florida received 9 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 9 votes for vice president. Madam President, the certificate of the electoral
basically what's happening right now, the
of
tellers
state of
alternate
California
reporting on the
seems to be
authenticity.
This is yet another testament to the reality that Donald Trump has dramatically changed American norms, American institutions, American politics, and reshaped it in his own image. Nobody before January 6, 2021 ever cared about January 6th. That was not like a media moment, but because he tried to overthrow American democracy in the funniest way possible. Now, this is also a unique moment where, see, the American Congress has gotten together to certify the vote counts. It's like, this is just purely symbolic. This is the type of thing that like nobody really cared about. It's just, you know, super basic stuff in Congress that happens that you normally are supposed to not even know about. No one needs to know that this is a thing. No one is supposed to watch this in real time. In the past, this got like 35 views on C-SPAN.
On a paper tally
It does
sheet.
seem boring. It is
And
boring.
at the end of that,
Look at them.
reading all results.
They're describing the process of vote certification. Like what? Of course it's boring. It's so stupid. It's like putting a camera in front of a guy who's just like literally rubber stamping stuff at the FDA every day or something. Like it's just like what? It is incredibly boring procedural stuff. And I think part of the reason why we're hyper focusing on this is to basically repeat a lie that things are normal. Things are not normal, but everyone, the fourth estate, is desperately trying to be like, no. I promise you things are normal. Look at how normal this bureaucratic process is. Everything is fine. Please don't freak out. Meanwhile, Justin Trudeau, in America's hat, Canada, resigned. Part of the reason why he resigned is because he was deeply unpopular. Part of the reason why he was deeply unpopular played a role in the same struggles that Americans are facing as well, where a lot of people have decided that immigrants are the reason why the housing market is out of control. You know, people will point to the taxing initiatives that he engaged in for green energy, even though it's an objectively conservative way of trying to tackle climate change. America's other ally, South Korea, experienced a martial law initiative. The president was deposed and now they're going after him, but they can't even issue an arrest warrant because he's protecting himself with his own Secret Service. America's not saying anything about that either because it's weird. You have war everywhere. The things are just not normal. Things are not normal at all. And it seems like leadership at the helm is more invested in maintaining neoliberalism as the way to go. This like ideological zealotry rather than try to actually fix some of these problems. And people are getting more and more frustrated and right-wingers are just winning. They're winning all over. They're winning all over the world where people have not changed their politics at all on the opposing side to fascism. If you have liberals running the show, you're in a really terrible predicament. All the while, we just hyper focus on silly things like this to be like, no, everything is fine. Everything is good. Meanwhile, what is Trump doing? While this is happening, Trump is on the other hand consistently saying, oh, we're just going to annex Canada. Now, I think he's joking about that. I don't think he's being serious about that. But I do think it's dangerous and nefarious when he talks about invading Mexico or bombing the cartels. I do think that that is something that he might do. I don't think he's joking about that. I fear as though we will just keep looking at things like this to be like, no, everything is fine. Everything is normal.